माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ अभय चरणारविंद भक्त वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। कृष्णपाद परम परिव्रजकाचार्य श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरिराज गोवर्धन ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम मथुरा द्वारिका जगन्नाथ नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय गंगा मैया की जय यमुना मैया की जय भक्ति देवी की जय तुलसी महारानी की समवेत भक्तवृंद की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। वासुदेवाय। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमस्ते बलिनां श्रेष्ठ नमस्ते धरणीधरः प्रलम्बारे नमोऽस्तुते। त्राहि मां कृष्णपूर्वजा देवदेव जगन्नाथ प्रपन्नीरविनाशक त्राहि मां पुण्डरीकाक्ष पतित भवसागरे। जय देवी सुभद्रे त्वं सर्वेषां भद्रदायिनी। सुदर्शनमाज्वाला सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा अज्ञानतिमिर अन्धानां वैकुण्ठाब्धप्रदर्शकः। Welcome to all for this Sunday evening. Tomorrow is most auspicious day, which is the divine appearance of Balaram. Just now we prayed to him that Namaste Balinam Shrestha. It has a deep meaning actually. I offer my obeisance to that person who is superior or topmost among Balinas, means who has strength or powers. Balaram, the name itself indicates that he is Ram, the source and storehouse of happiness, with a Bala, with powers. Physically also and spiritually also. Balaram is most powerful personality. As per Mahaprabhu's explanation about Sanatana Goswami regarding the different incarnations of the Lord, there very wonderfully it has explained who is Balaram. Generally we think that Balaramji is elder brother of Krishna. And we do not know much about his wonderful pastimes. We only know that he is elder brother of Lord Sri Krishna. As per the Vedic text, Balaramji is the first incarnation of the Lordship. And in the Krishna book, Prabhupada says, there is no difference between Krishna and Balaram. The only difference is that their color. Lord Krishna has a Shamavarna, Ghana Shamavarna, Nava Ambuda Shamalakanti. He has the complexion like a Nava Ambuda. Ambuda means who gives rain. Who gives rain? Clouds. So Nava Ambuda. He is like a newly clouds that is manifested in the sky. Shamala. He is a Shamala like that newly clouds. And Balaramji is a Kshiravarna. He is white like a milk. So in this material manifestation, when Lord wants to perform his pastimes, especially the creation, he expands himself into Balaram. And from Balaramji comes first Chaturvyuha. Again there is one Sankarshana, Vasudeva, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. From that Sankarshana manifests another Chaturvyuha, which is secondary. Again there is a Sankarshana, Vasudeva, Aniruddha and Pradyumna. From this Sankarshana, again there are three Purusha avatars. They are known as a Karanodakshaya Vishnu, which is known as a Mahavishnu also, from whose pores of body all universes they manifest. Yasyai Kanishvan from his bodily flows or his exhalation, all universes they manifest. Then each of that universes, Lord again appears as a Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, from whose navels sprout a lotus on which Brahma manifests. That is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. He enters each and every universe and that universe starts working. Then Brahmaji starts creation. When he creates all the living entities, all Jalaja, Sthavara, Pakshinam, everything, 84 lakh species he manifests. Then Lord himself manifests in one more incarnation or Purusha avatar. That is known as a Kshirodhaka Vishnu. In that 400 form, Lord Vishnu resides in everyone's heart as a Paramatma. And from this Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, who also stays in Rama Vaikuntha, manifest all Leela avatars. Whatever we sing is Dasha avatars, they manifest from this Shirodakshan Vishnu. And the source of all this incarnation is Balaram. From him, all these incarnations they manifest. Balaramji has a unique position in Lord Krishna's pastime. He is Guru Tattva, Adi Guru, Ananta, Shesha. He is known as a Shesha on whose body Lord reclines and takes rest always. He is taking always slumber on the body of Ananta Shesha. Why he is called as a Shesha? After Lord, if something is there, Shesha means which is remaining. So what remains after Lord? His devotees. And the primal devotee is Shesha, Ananta. He shows how to perform devotional service to the Lord. And that's why Balramji, he himself manifests in Krishna Lila in all 5 rasas. How many of you know about that? That Balaramji, he plays all the different 5 roles in Lord's pastime, manifesting 5 different rasas. Would you like to know?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, first of all, we will think what are these 5 rasas or melos or relationships in which we can relate ourselves with the Lord. Start one by one. What is the first one? Bola. Shanta. The first one is Shanta, in which devotee, he relates himself with the Lord in passive way. Passive way means he is there in the pastimes of the Lord, but never performs any physical activities. Like trees, they are in the Shanta rasa. There are some devotees who are yogis who just sit and meditate on the Lord. They are in the Shanta rasa. That's the particular melo in which they can relate. So in the form of a Shesha himself, Balaramji is manifesting himself in the Lord's pastime, who has become the bed for the Lord and who has become Chhatra even, or canopy over the Lord's head. So you can see Shesha is he has coiled his body on which Lord is taking rest, and his spikes, they are like a chama or chhatra for the Lord. Then, what is the next rasa? Shanta, after that? Dasya, servitude. Lord is Lord, and Balaramji is servitor Lord. He serves their lordship. And he shows by his own example that how one should render service to him. Even though in manifested pastime in Dwapar Yuga, he appeared as the elder brother of Krishna. But he was always subordinate to Krishna in all his pastimes. And he showed himself that how one can render service to him. And that's why he is known as the servitor God. He is Adi Guru. Adi Guru, as Prabhupada explains, Adi Guru means, or a Guru means a person who shows you how to serve God, not how to become God. There are so many pot prints or imposter today. that they themselves claim as a god and they wanted to make others also god. But that's not the right kind of philosophy. God is God all the time, all the situation. But there are certain philosophies they explain about if you meditate on that particular mantra like a Soham, 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 one day you will become that. But what is that? They don't know. And that don't know thing they called as a God. That's foolishness. And Balaramji, by his own activities, he shows that how one can render services to the Lord. It is explained that he expand himself in different ways. There are 18 kind of paraphernalia that Lord uses every day. These are all manifestation of Lord Balaram. Like Lord's shoes, Lord's clothes, Lord's ornaments, chamara, chhatra, shayya, bed. Everything is none other than the manifestation of Lord Balaram. So he shows that how all the capabilities, capacities that we can engage in the Lord's service. That is dasya. Actually, dasya, the proper word for that is kinkara. Kinkara means Kim Kuru Pruchati Iti Sa. The person with a folded hand stands in front of you and asks, what can I do for you? That is Kinkara. And that Kankarya is taught by Lord Balaram. Then, next rasa Sakya. Sakya means friendship. So Balaramji was the first friend of Krishna in his manifested past. Because both they were residing at Nanda Maharaja's place. And no one was around than the Balaramji. And he was the elder. So he was the first friend of Lord Krishna. And he showed how to have a friendship with the Lord. If you see or read about Lord's wonderful childhood pastimes in Vrindavan, there are different books like a Gopal Champu, Ananda Vrindavan Champu. They have given a detailed explanation about Lord's wonderful childhood pastime, how he has related himself with a different friends, what different varieties of friends he has, and what are the different leelas, pastime he has performed with them. And each and every pastime you will find Krishna always with the Balaram. And that's why they used to have this twin couple like Krishna and Balaram. Then the next rasa is Vatsalya. Vatsalya means parental affection. And Balaramji has manifested that parental affection for Krishna. Whenever there used to be some disturbance because of demons sent by Kansa, Balaramji used to go first to beat them up. But Lord Krishna, oh thou, leave it. Why you have to take trouble? I'm here, don't mind. And then Krishna used to go and beat them up or kill them up. And he used to take that credit. And he used to say, you don't be sinful. I can take care of that. See, whenever Lord appeared in this world to perform his pastime so that all the conditioned living entities, they can get attracted to him. As Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in wonderful song, Gopina, that Jivera Karane Lohinu Avatara Leela Koilo Suvistara Gopina. This Gopina, the master of gopis, he always comes and incarnate himself in a different features. For what? He performs all detailed pastimes to attract the conditioned souls towards him. Because that's the main purpose of creating this material world. This material world is created so that all the conditioned souls like us can get a chance to get attracted to Lord and go back to God. And Balaramji facilitated that. So when he came as a Lakshmana, as a younger brother of Lord Sri Ram, he manifested how one should have a love or a relation with the Lord as a brother. When Lord Ramachandra was exiled and he's supposed to leave Ayodhya and go to enter forest, who was the first person wanted to go along with him? Dasharath. Huh? Lakshman. Okay, all you are attending. Thank you. So it was Lakshman who said, "My Lord, I'm coming along with you." Lord said, "Why you?" He's not a brother like today's brother that, "Oh, it's okay. Actually, we are brothers, but you're supposed to go, so please carry on." Huh? No, it's Lakshman who was Adi Guru. He showed how one should have attachment to their Lordship in all the situation of your life. At all conditions, at all circumstances, how you should connect yourself with the Lord. Generally what happens? Whenever there is a sorrow, we look at the Lord to blame Him. Why with me? Huh? I'm living such a simple life and still I'm having a trouble. Look at the neighbor, they are doing all sort of nonsense and still they are enjoying. When there are troubles, we look at the Lord to blame Him. But whenever there is a happiness, do we look at the Lord? Do we think that it's because of Him I'm getting this happiness? That time, we forget Him and we think that it's me, it's my pious study that I have done in my previous life, I'm enjoying this. It's not by the Lord's mercy. This is what the selfishness that we have in us. But Lakshmanji showed us that how one should render service and keep connected with the Lord in all these circumstances of the life. And he showed, if you read Ramayana, how many of you have read Ramayana? Okay. Lakshmanji, since his childhood, he was like a shadow of Lord Ramachandra. Wherever Lord has gone, he always followed and served him all the ways. So when Dasharath asked Ramachandra, he never asked actually, he was in totally lamentation. Kaikeyi asked him, it's your father's desire that you should go to forest and let Bharat should take a kingdom and he should be coronated as a king. And he should be in the forest for next 14 years. Lord Ramachandra accepted that. When Lakshmana came to know, he was ready with his sword. He said, who is that foolish fellow who has no dignity at all, who is so attached to his own beautiful women, who has failed to keep his word and who is like a black spot for whole Surya Vamsha. Ramji said, what you are telling? He is our father. He said, what father? Pita means who protects. He is not able to keep his own vows. He is not protecting even his own vows. What he can protect us? Forget. I am going to kill him now and I am going to coronate him. Ramachandra said, what you are saying? Lakshman, he is ultimately our father. Because Lord Ramachandra was denying Lakshmana to take him with in the forest. So he was said, no, you should not come because it's for me, not for you. Then Lord Ramchandra, how I can stop you saying all this nonsense? Then he said, okay, just take me with you. Then I will stop, otherwise I will keep speaking like this. Then Lord Ramchandra said, no problem, you can come with me. Then Mother Sita, she was the next. She said, I'm coming along with you. Then Ramchandra said, they have banished me, not you. Then she said, ceremoniously we have become one now. So whatever your destiny is mine. If that happens with today's situation, okay, we'll meet after 14 years. Take care of yourself. I will be here. But that was Mother Sita. And she said, I'm Ardhangini. I'm the better half of yours. Not a bitter, it's a better half of yours. So I will be with you. Wherever you go, I will follow. So all the three left from there. So each and every step, if you read Ramayana and try to contemplate, all the calamities that were taken by Lakshmana. When they reached at Chitrakoot, staying there, so he was the first person who surveyed the whole land there, so that it should be safe for Mother Sita and Lord Ramachandra to stay. And he was the person who never slept for 14 years, or not even drank a drop of water, or not ate anything. Can you imagine? Can somebody live like that? But he lived. And when you will come to know this, when there is an explanation about killing of Indrajit, son of Ravana, because he had a boon that he will get killed by the person who followed the celibacy for 14 years with no food and no sleep. And that was Lakshmana. And that's why he was able to kill Meghnad, Indrajit. Guru means a person who shows by his own example that how one should serve their Lordship. And this is Adi Guru Lakshmana. And Sri Lakshmana showed us that how one should dedicate oneself to their Lordship's pleasure. That particular pastime, actually his heart was so much pain, because when Mother Sita was pregnant, and again because of the Loka Karana, because of the rumors in the Ayodhya, Lord Ramachandra again left Mother Sita. And that time he was knowing she was pregnant. And he gave that task to Lakshmana. And he asked, Lakshmana, you have to do this. Take her to on the bank of Ganges and leave her there. Then Lakshmana thought that maybe it's Mother Sita's desire that she wanted to go there for a few days and she may be back. But when Lord Ramachandra explained to him that this is the reason that I am living for Mother Sita, when he heard that, his heart was crying actually. He was reluctant to do that, but he took a vow that he will follow each and every word of Lord Ramachandra as it is, without infiltration or without giving any own commentary. He followed the words of Lord Ramachandra as it is and took Mother Sita on the banks of Ganges. While coming back, he was praying, if next birth I have to come, I will going to be his elder brother. Then he will follow me, what I say. Because I am his younger, Anuja, that's I have to follow whatever he says. But next time, when I manifest here, I will come as his elder brother. So in the next incarnation, when they appeared in Dwapar Yuga, who came first? Balaram. But Lord is Lord in all circumstances. Whether he is the elder brother or younger brother, he has to follow Lord. And there are wonderful pastimes in Krishna Leela. How Balramji was forced to follow what Krishna says, even though he was an elder. The first incident. Can somebody tell me what was that? It's in Vrindavan now. Let's see in Vrindavan what has happened. Anybody remembers any past? Okay, let me tell. One day, it was the appearance day of Balaram. And Balaram thought that every time, everyone gets attracted to Krishna. Why? Why they get attracted to Krishna? Because of his beauty. Because of his attire, the way he dressed himself. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a wonderful shloka which explains the beauty of their Lordship. Varaha pidam natavaravapu karanayo karanikara vibhradavasa kanaka kapisham vaijayantim chama randhran venur adhara purayan gopavrinda vrindavan avishat gopakirti. Varaha pidam natavaravapu karanayo karanikara. Varaha pidam means the peacock feather that he has on his head. Have you seen any other god who puts peacock feather? No, it's he only. Natavara vapuhu. Natavara means superstar. Natavara, he is topmost among the people who performs different acts or dramas. So he is a Natavara. Vapuhu, his body is so beautiful as one of the actors. Karnayo Karnikara. His ears are decorated with the Karnika flowers. They are a little bit like a pinkish dark red actually. Some rare combination of shades. Karnayo Karnikara. Vibhradavasa Kanaka Kapisham Vaijayantim Chamala. And he always wrap around his waist pitambara, which dazzles like a lightning. And he always wears a Vaijayanti Mala. Vaijayanti Mala means there are 5 different kinds of scented flowers. From that Mala is made. Like a Champa, Malati, and Bakula. And what the main thing that he does to attract everyone? Randhran Adhara Purayan. With his lips, he pours nectar into the holes of Venu. So Balaramji thought, okay, let me dress like him. On the appearance day of his own, Balaramji, he wrapped pitambar, put a peacock feather on the head, took a basuri in hand, and went to the Keshi Ghat. That's the place where Lord used to go. And he was standing under the Kadamba tree. And all of a sudden, got kicked. Who kicked him? That day, Kamsa sent one horse demon, and his name was a Keshi. And Keshi was informed because he asked, how should I know that who is Krishna? Then they told him that Krishna, if you go, there is only one person you can see that he is putting a yellow dhoti, which is like a pitambar. And most important thing, he is having a peacock feather in his head. and next thing he will have a basuri in his hand. So if you find anyone in that dress, that is Krishna. So Balaramji, in that mood of Krishna, he went, he was standing under the Kadamba tree and playing on a flute. He played one or two notes and he got kicked in his chest. And Lala was sitting somewhere and he was having fun of that. Here is my brother. So there is one very strong teaching from this particular act that one should understand. There are some impostor gurus. First they are Babas, then they become gurus, they then become Swamiji, and then they become Bhagavan. And on top of them, what they say? Actually, I am not Bhagavan, but my followers, my disciples, they say me Bhagavan. Then if you pretend to be like a Bhagavan, then what happens? Adi Guru has showed. When he pretended to be Bhagavan, then what happened? He got kicked by Keshi. Then what will happen with these rascals? One is there already in Tihar jail. Most popular personality. Calling himself as a Balaram. Satyuga ka Parshuram, Treta ka Raja Ram, Dwapar ka Balaram, और कलयुग का अभी तिहार jail. This is what happens with the impostor when they claim themselves as a Bhagavan. Then the next time, with the Pralambasura. Pralambasura intendedly chose to be in the Krishna's side. So, when they were playing with that rope pulling thing. So whoever owns, what they have to do? They will be carried by the other person who have lost. So first he intended on the Balram side, so that he was knowing that I am on this side, so what will happen? We will lose because Krishna on the other side. Then I will carry Krishna and I will kill him. But the first time what happened? They won. Sorry, they lost actually. So he was not able to carry Krishna. So next time he said, I will go on that side. So he came on the Krishna side and Balaram on the other side. And this time again Krishna lost. So Balaram team won that match. So what Pralamba did then? Okay, I will carry Balaram because Balaram is very dear to Krishna. I will kill him first because he seems to be very strong and stout, and then it will be easy for me to kill Krishna. So he took Lord Balaram on his shoulders and he started running. As he started running, then he manifested his own form. Huge black cloud like a mountain. And Balaram thought, what is this? In Chaitanya Shikshamrita, which is written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he writes that Pralambasura represents the anartha in our heart, which is none other than our ahankara, our ego. Because ego carries us away from our devotional service. Same way Pralamba was carrying away Krishna, Balaramji away from Krishna. So our ego, ahankara, mithya ahankara, creates hindrance in our devotional service. And that ahankara gets smashed by Guru. And who is Adi Guru? Balaram. So in Krishna Leela, Balaram had showed us that how one should surrender himself by killing his own ego, by subduing our own ego. Then There's another pastime. There's one more demon, Shankachuda. Shankachuda was one of the associate of Kubera. As Kubera was the treasurer, is a treasure of demigods, so this person was treasurer of Kubera. So when he saw that Lord Krishna is performing wonderful pastime with the gopis on Govardhan Hill, he got attracted to that. He saw such a beautiful girls are there. And he thought that, hey, I am the most opulent person in the universe because I am the secretary of the, what they call, treasurer of demigods. So I should be there enjoying all these beautiful damsels, not this black boy. So what he did, he went there, he grabbed few gopis in his both hands and he started running. As Lord saw that, he said, what shall I do now? He wanted to go and tell him, then Balramji was next to him. Balramji said, okay, just wait. You be here with them because they need more protection. I can go and get them. So Balramji ran behind him and he gave just one blow on his head and Shankachuda was finished. And Shankachuda represents our lusty desires. And that is also taken care by spiritual master. Because he knows what is there in your heart. You may pray for that to their Lordship. But unless and until your spiritual master's mercy is there, Lord will not interfere in your life. So what you need to come over this kama or unnecessary material desires which creates hindrance in your spiritual life. To remove that, what you need is the mercy of spiritual master. So Balaramji here, he came forth and he destroyed Shankachuda. There was one more demon was killed by Balaramji, and that was, anybody remembers? Huh? Yeah, Dhenukasur. Why Dhenukasur was killed by Balaramji? Any reason behind that? Dhenukasur, in his previous life, he was a grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. And Bali Maharaj got benediction from Vamandev that Lord will not kill any of his descendants. So Dhenukasur was not killed by the Lord because Lord has given words to his devotees. So there he asked Balaramji to take care of that. And Balaramji killed Dhenukasur. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Dhenukasur represents one more anartha in our spiritual life. And that is desire to obtain material education or Jada Vidya, which creates badha in our bhajan. Jada Vidya Jata Mayara Vaibhava Jivera Banaye Gadha. Jada Vidya, as much as material education or degrees you hold, that much your ego puffs up. It goes, huh? If someone insults you, you think, hey, you know who am I? I'm such and holding such and such degrees, you know? What is your qualification? What do you think? So the Jada Vidya Jata Mayara Vaibhava Jivera Banaye Gadha. Sei se Gadha, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. What he does? He carries this load of avidya and gets exhausted to perform his spiritual activities. Because that blows your ego. And as much as big ego you have, you will not able to surrender in front of their Lordship. So who takes care of that then? Spiritual master. He shows you who you are, what is your position. And that's why you should have a living spiritual master in your life. Nowadays there is a fashion. Who is your guru? Sai Baba. Where is he? In the photo. There is no interference in your personal life then. You may do any damn thing, but I am Sai Baba. Or I am Bhakta or this and that. Why? Because they are not interfering in your life. People choose that easy way. I want a guru, but he is better in the photo frame, not in actual life. But guru means a person who is a representative of the Lord and who takes care of your day-to-day activities in your spiritual life. Lord is there as a guru, Chaitya Guru in your heart, but his external manifestation is guru. And here is the Adi Guru who is showing us that how one should curb our anarthas to make a progress in our spiritual life. Now, next. Guru is always compassionate to each and every personality. He never sees his qualification, his standards, but he is always compassionate. He is ready to give mercy. And Balaramji is like that. He was knowing that Duryodhana is envious of Krishna. He is a deadly enemy of Krishna. But still, Duryodhana was very much appreciated and was adored by Balaramji. Seems to be a contradiction. He gave whatever he learned, everything he taught it to Duryodhana, and he made him such a powerful club fighter who can fight with a mace or gada. He was specially trained by Lord Balaram. And in Mahabharata, there is only one prayer that has offered by Duryodhana to Balaramji. There are 1,000 shlokas in the glorification of Balaram and done by Duryodhana. And there Duryodhana is called as a Suyodhan. Suyodhan means who is expert in fighting. And he was. And he was well protected by Balaram. So when at the moment when he was supposed to die, and that was the last fight, and there Lord, with a crooked intention, he showed Bhimji. When there was fight was on the feast actually, and it was very difficult to make it out who is going to lose now. Sometimes it seems that now Bhima is going to get killed. Sometimes it's like Duryodhana is going to get killed. But no one was. They were fighting. And it went for a long time. Then Lord showed Bhima. He started slapping on his thigh. Bhima, Bhimbhaya, here. Vava, Vava, Vava. And then Bhima saw that. He looked at Lord. And Lord Krishna was just patting on his thigh. And then Bhima, he just gave one big blow on Duryodhana's thighs. And Duryodhana was flat. And that time, unfortunately, Balaramji was there. He became so angry, he just got his own club in the hand and he was racing towards Bhima. And there is a one person called as Anumanta. Who is that? The sanctioner. Krishna was there. He just grabbed hands of Balaram. He said, "Thou, what are you doing? And going to kill Bhima?" He said, "Yes, he has broken rules of fighting. And that in front of me, who has taught them how to fight. And he is insulting me. He has disobeyed my orders. So I am going to kill him." Arey thou, why you are so stubborn on following these rules and regulations? Did Duryodhana follow rules and regulations? Then he said, "Krishna, you don't speak anything now. I know you are going to bewilder me and I am going to lose my anger. But this time I'm not going to get carried away by you. I'm going to beat Bhiman. He said, thou, listen, you have just come from doing all the pilgrimage. You have become so pious now. Why you want to perform this impious act now? By killing your own kinsman. Whatever happens, so happen. And do you want to hear the whole list? Because you decided not to take part in this battle. That's why you left for pilgrimage. And you are breaking your own vow. Why you are taking part in it now? Then Balramji cooled down. I know. I thought that this lifetime I should be your elder brother and I will do what I want. But that's not happening. I have to do what you say. The same way actually you carried me away when Arjuna took Subhadra from us. So Lord, whenever he does the things, he does perfectly. Purnamada, Purnamidat, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. Whatever he does in perfection. When Arjuna took away Subhadra from there, what he did, you know? Anybody remembers what Krishna asked Arjuna to do? Yes. Exactly. When the news came to Balramji that one yogi came and he just took away Subhadra from here. Then another soldier came running and he said, that yogi is none other than Arjuna. Then Balramji got rage with anger. He just took his club and he said, okay, let's set forth, go and attack Arjuna. Krishna said, thou, what's happening? What? He said, you don't speak a single word now, I know. You must be involved in this. Because Arjuna is your friend. But you forgot that Subhadra is our sister. And that's not the way that she should be carried away. I'm going. I said, okay, go. I don't mind. You go. And see carefully what things are happening. They rest like anything and they just got near to Arjuna. And then he remembered what Krishna had said. See carefully. So he was looking at them carefully. What he saw? Arjuna is at the back and Subhadra is driving the chariot. So who is kidnapping whom then? It's Arjuna or it's Subhadra? Then he said it must be the plan of Kana, no one else. So again he said, what's the use of being elder brother? So, but Lord, whenever Lord wants to appear in this world, he sends forth his pure devotee who creates the proper environment so that Lord can appear. So before Lord Krishna appeared in the womb of Mother Devaki, Balaramji appeared. He sanctified that place so that Lord can come and manifest himself. So same way, before God realization, we need a self-realization, and that self-realization happens when you take shelter of spiritual master. And spiritual master is none other than the representative of Balaram. So Balaramji has a great impact on our spiritual life. So now I'm going to tell you a wonderful story. How, continuing with our last session on the last Sunday, what we were speaking about in last Sunday? Does anybody remember? What was the topic that we discussed? What is that? Why? Ramanujacharya is none other than Ananta Shesha, who is the incarnation of Balaram, Lakshmana. That's why he is Rama Anuja, the younger brother of Lord Rama. So it's Lakshmana who appeared. So there is a beautiful deities of Baladev. How many of you been to Mathura? Have you seen Baladev? Have you gone there? No. You have not heard about that. Baladev is a name of place. It's near about 11 miles away from Mahavan. You have to further go towards southern direction of Brajamandir. How many of you know about Aurangzeb? Have you heard about him? Very compassionate soul, no? Huh? Or very demonic soul. What he did? Mess everywhere. Huh? One day, when he was traveling from Agra to Delhi, he heard that still there is a king who stays in Braja. So I have to go and fight with him. And who was that king? Brajaraj, Nandanandan Shyamasundar. But before that, these Pandas in Mathura, they are really expert to bewilder him. They bewilder him also. They said, what to speak of this Brajaraj, Nandanandan? He is a small brother. He is a younger guy. If you want to fight, go to Baldev. There lives a real king of Braja. And his name is Balaram. You go and meet him first. Then Aurangzeb also said, what's the use of fighting with the younger king? Let me go and fight with the elder one. That will be some dignity for me. Then he said, how far it is from here? They said, just 7 kroshas. It's like a 49 kilometers actually. He said, okay. So he marched. He had near about 50,000 soldiers with him, and they were walking. One day, they kept walking. Then at the evening, they asked, how many miles we have come? We have to still go another 7 kroshas. Said, what? Yeah, it's just another 7 kroshas from here. Next day again he walked. Again it is 7 kroshas. On the 7th day, they walked, and the night they halted. Again they asked, how far is this Baldev from here? They said 7 kroshas. Sir, what's happening? For last 7 days I am not able to walk even 49 kilometers. What is that? It's nonsense. Something is wrong here. They said, hey, everything is wrong with you. You are going to the person who bewilders everywhere. If you really want to go to that place, then pray to him. And he said, how I can pray to the god of Kafis? Huh? It's not possible. Then he said, you keep walking. We don't mind. Next day again he walked. Again in the evening they reached at one place, and from there he asked, how long it is? Another 7 kroshas. Then he said, enough of this now. He said, okay, whoever he may be, I pray that I wanted to come to you. And next day morning he woke up in front of the temple. And then he went inside to see what is there. They entered inside. As he entered, he was not able to see anything in the temple. The whole temple was empty, vacant, nothing is there inside. Then he caught some brahmanas there. He said, people are bewildering me. You tell me what is the fact, otherwise I will chop all of your heads. Then one of that Panda, he came forth and he asked, oh my Lord, now it is on our life. Please do something. Then Balaram said, okay, send him inside. And as he went inside, he saw a ferocious snake standing there with 7 fangs. And by seeing that, he got so bewildered. He was like thrown away from the Garbhagriha. He fell down. Then he realized that there is a God. And these Kafis are not Kafis actually, they are the real worshipper of the God. And that time he donated more than 100 months. 1 month means 40 kg. So 400 kg of silver. It is still there. They have made a nice ornamental pinnacle for the Lord. That was donated by Aurangzeb. That was the only one temple given protection by Aurangzeb. He gave a lot of land for that temple for the maintenance of all the Brahmins who are taking care of the temple. And backside, there is one big lake. They called it as a Kshiroda, because sometime before that also somebody came, like Ghazini or someone, he wanted to also destroy that temple. So that time they took the deities of Sankarsana and put it into that Kshirosagar. But again they reinstalled them and they started worship. So Baladev ji, even today also, you may go, but unless and until he wanted to give you a darshan, you will not have it. It happened with me. Twice I went and I never had a darshan. Even though I was in front of, but nothing is visible inside. Everything was dark. All other people they had. When he wants to give you darshan, that time only you will get his darshan. It seems to me very strange, but that's the fact. So the way you wanted to relate yourself with the Lord, that way he manifests himself. So till today it is considered, as long as Baldev ji is there, no one can do anything in Braja. Braja is always protected by Daud, Baldev. So there are 5 deities, those are installed by Vajrana. They were self-manifested. One is Baladev, Govindadev, Haradev, and one more is Keshav at Mathura. They were installed by great grandson of Krishna. And amongst them, only Baladev is there today in Brajamandal, who is giving his wonderful mercy to the seekers of spiritual life who want to make progress and go further and achieve the lotus feet of their Lord. So here is Lord Balaram. He gives both physical and spiritual strength to us to survive in our spiritual life. So let's pray at his lotus feet that at least one day we can get a peck of dust of his lotus feet and create some strength to perform devotional service to their Lord. Right. जुलाई आज लास्ट है ना कल तो पिछले 5 दिनों से for last 5 days we are having a Govindadev Jhulan Yatra here, their lordship in the cradle, and we are going to swing them. So we request devotees one by one they can come. अब थोड़ा आचमन के लिए पानी हाथ से. So Prabhuji will give you some water to cleanse your hand. Then you come forth and start filling the drains for the cradle, and we will have a nice ether. Shri Balaram Ji ki